Hey guys, welcome to Needle Knowledge. If you are somebody that still gets confused by different manufacturers' labeling, hopefully you will find this short presentation helpful. So if you struggle to get your head around all the different ways that different manufacturers will label their needles, this part is for you. Especially when we are quite new into the industry, we're still learning our configurations versus our groupings versus our diameters. And then you buy from a different supplier or you buy a different brand of needle and the labeling is the complete opposite. I know it can get confusing. So this part is really going to help you just break down your configurations. Okay, so let's have a little look at how diameters are labeled. So you will see on your box of needles, sometimes you've got these numbers 6, 8, 10 and 12. Sometimes you have A, B and C. Or sometimes they actually do you a favour and just list the diameter. So this is your conversion here. So if you see an 0.6 in your label, an 0.6 is a 0.20 millimetre diameter. An 0.8 is a 0.25, a 10 is a 0.30, and a 12 is a 0.35. So that is the thickness of the needle, remember. And the same with A, B, and C. A is 25, B is generally 30, C is a 35. So when we're looking at our labeling, what we want to do is break down diameter, configuration, and grouping. This is how you're going to read your labels no matter where you buy them from. So they're diameters. So diameters will show us 6, 8, 10, 12, or they'll be 20, 25, 30, 35, or A, B, and C. Unfortunately, they don't all use a standard labeling code. Then your label is going to show your configuration. So you'll generally see RL, which means it's a round liner, RS, round shader, M, magnum. Sometimes you'll see an RM or an SM, which is a round magnum or a stacked magnum. And then the actual amount of needles that are in that cartridge, that is your grouping. So a single needle would be an 0.1. If you had, say, a 3 round liner, you're going to see the 0.3 because you have 3 needles in that grouping, and so on. Your 5, your 7, your 9s, 11s. So let's just break this down. On your label, you have 1201 RL. So 12, we know that's going to be our diameter. If we flick back here, 12 is a 0.35. So 12, we know that the thickness of each needle or single needle, depending on your grouping, is of a 0.35 diameter. Then we see 0.1, so that's our grouping. So we know this is a single needle. Yeah, if we go back here, 0.1, 1 needle, 3 needles. So we've got a 1201. So we have a single needle that is a 35 millimeter diameter. And then you'll see the RL, that means it's a round liner. So your 1201 RL is a one round liner with a 0.35 diameter. Or let's say you buy from a different manufacturer. And this one, it says it's a 03 RSC. So remember to break down configuration, grouping, diameter. So C in this case will be your diameter. So if we just flip back, remember that A, B and C, it will either be A, B and C or 6, 8, 10, 12. So we know C is our 0.35 diameter. So we're going to take the C from the end here on the diameter. So you see on the first one, your diameter is at the start. And on the second label, your diameter is at the end. So remember, they will not always be labelled in order. It's just knowing how to pull this apart. So C is your diameter. 03 is going to be your grouping. So we know there's 3 needles in this casing. And then RS is our grouping. So RS is your round shader. So an 03 RSC is a 3 round shader and you have a 35 millimeter thickness again. Hopefully this makes sense and you're following through. If you have any questions though on any of this, my inbox is always open, so you're more than welcome to just drop me a message. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. We've got a 1007 RM. So we know 10 is going to be our diameter. Remember, 6, 8, 10, 12 diameters. So 10 is your 0.30, and then 0.7, that has to be your grouping. So we have 7 needles in this grouping. So each needle is of a 0.30 millimeter diameter. And then we have RM, which is our round magnum. So a 10.07 RM is going to be your 7 round magnum, and it's a 0.30 diameter. So I'm going to get you thinking now. Let's take this middle one, 03 RSC. How else could this read? So it could read like this, couldn't it? 12, but an 03 and an RS. So if you see a 12.03 RS, you know it's going to be the same as your 3 RSC, because your 12 and your C are both 35 millimeter diameters. Then our groupings here will be a 1 or a 3. And then instead of an RL, it would be an RS. So that is breaking down your labels and understanding how to differentiate between different manufacturers. I really hope this has helped clear up any confusion. But if you do have any questions at all, please just find me on Facebook or Instagram and drop me a DM, and I will absolutely be happy to help.